We're going to talk about the Cowboys now, and we're going to stop making y'all wait near an hour to get to the Cowboys.
now you got me mad, and then you picked the right time, the right one. Let's get into it.
That's called producing, baby. All right. So, is it more likely, Dave, that the Dallas Cowboys make the Super Bowl or miss the playoffs altogether?
Miss the playoffs altogether. It's not even a question. Oh my God!
Wow.
This team pisses me off to no degree, and this is. Let me walk that back. Let me be the rational side of me.
Nah, that. No. Go. No.
This team has underperformed so many times, and they let so many people walk this offseason without bringing on anybody back. You mean to tell me that your best person to bring back is Ezekiel Elliott?
That's the least angry. That's the least angry move the Cowboys fans should be.
But see that, but that's the fact of you brought back a running back who you let walk because he was getting old, and now you brought him back. Okay, so what? Is he gonna retire? Ooh, unless you're really banking on the running backs you drafted in the last couple of years, you mean to tell me that you now are going to sit here and have Dak Prescott, a guy who at this point we can't say paying his money, he hasn't accomplished anything, he hasn't made it out of the second round. What? He won a division title, then what? Again,
same thing I said about Tua. You are not going to find better than Dak Prescott in the open market. You're not.
But
you're not. And the price is the price. You got to pay him.
And the price is going up ever more for someone who has not won anything. That is the issue. I am not at all saying that Dak Prescott's not a great quarterback. I'm good quarterback. I'm saying that he is someone who has been at the helm of this team for multiple contracts now, and he has not gotten them further than they have gotten without it. I look at who they have surrounded with him. You've had CeeDee Lamb for a couple of years now. You had Amari Cooper. You had a whole gang of receivers who are all blanking out on me right now. You had a good offensive line. You had a defense that was playing lights out without their best receiver. We had a defense that was playing lights out without their best DB the last year. I don't know how in the hell you've let so many pieces walk out the door without bringing in equal, if not better, capital and expect to get anywhere. But I do want to say this is the last thing I'm going to say within my how I feel unhinged rant, even though I think I could do more. This team is not going to see success as long as Jerry Jones is the owner of this team. But we all know he's not going to go out without a fight. So I look at the Cowboys from the lens of you're not going to make the playoffs this year. If you do, great job. You're not making out the first round. If they do, I will come on here and apologize. I've been known to walk back a lot of things I've said. This is something I know that unless a lot of things go wrong in this league, this team is not making playoffs. With the roster that they have, they've been too good on paper and they've underperformed. You mean to tell me this year's end of the year you do something better? All right, bro.
Okay, so there's three things you brought up there that I want to shoot at. Number one, I'm a Dak Prescott defender, so that's one of those things I'm gonna get to. Number two. Hold on, let me get to the three.
Go ahead.
Number two, their past offseason, because one of my major questions was what the hell happened this past offseason. And number three, the team won't be successful as long as Jerry Jones is the owner. Which one of those do you want me to shoot at first?
Whichever one you feel comfortable with.
All right, let's start with this offseason because you said didn't bring in equal talent. They didn't really bring in any replacement talent. Like,
I know. I was trying to be nice.
They didn't really bring. It's like they didn't try. Like, in the fact, I feel like I'd be less upset about it if they didn't say before the offseason we're gonna go all in, and their season didn't flame out so spectacularly against the Packers. To go to after that game, have that be our last impression of you, and then going to the offseason and essentially do nothing, especially keeping Mike McCarthy. That with Mike Vrabel and Bill Belichick still being unemployed as we speak, Mike McCarthy is still the head coach of the Cowboys. Make it make sense. But that's point one. Point two, the Jerry Jones point. It depends on what you're talking about.
Okay.
Jerry Jones, the selector of player personnel, I can argue in the past decade, there's no one better. Every single star, all-pro, Pro Bowl player on the Cowboys, they drafted. Every single one. with the exception of when they traded for Amari Cooper. That's the only one. Every single star player on the Cowboys, they drafted. All of them.
Amari Cooper is gone, but if you're gonna go back and if you're gonna go back and give Amari Cooper the credit, then you got to also go back and give Terrell Owens the credit. But
no, I said past decade. Past decade. All of them. Dak, Zeke, Dez, CD, Michael Parsons, Trayvon Diggs, you name it, all of them are homegrown. Every single one. If you're talking about player personnel, the Cowboys draft better than everybody. They draft better than everyone.
Then what happened?
Draft and develop players better than everybody. Here's where the Jerry Jones blame gets come in. It's the coaching hires. It's coaching hires. Like that's where it comes in. Because I think there's a lot of bit of truth to the whole Jerry doesn't want to be outshined by the coach. Because I would think Jerry Jones at fossil years old would like to be like, you know what, yo, I'm tired of doing the every Monday I got to do an interview on insert press. Jerry Jones is 81 years old. But for people that want the actual fact, I don't want to do the WFAN thing where I got to explain the team. Hey, Bill, you deal with it. you go deal with all that. Hey, Mike, you go deal with all that. I'm going to go be a billionaire somewhere. Okay. That's what I would think. So the coaching thing, I'm with you, but far be it for me to defend Jerry Jones, but like when it comes to player personnel, the Cowboys are better than everyone at it. Everybody.
Okay.
Last point I'll shoot at. Last of the three. Dak Prescott. If your critique of him, and I say the same thing about Lamar Jackson, if your critique of him is he did not win a Super Bowl or he has not won a Super Bowl. Wait. If your critique of him is that he has not won a Super Bowl, there's only 3 quarterbacks in the league that have won a Super Bowl. One of them is Aaron Rodgers, who is now 40 and won in 2011. The other one was Matt Stafford. The other one's Patrick Mahomes. There's only 3. If that's your critique, is your critique is he hasn't won an MVP? There's only 3 quarterbacks in the league who've won an MVP still. If you want to talk, so my thing is with Dak, and a lot of reason why I'm much higher on him, this is where I can't wait for Tom Brady to announce their first game so everyone can be on the same page with me as this. In the regular season, let me get through this full sentence so I can bring it all together. Because I can already see your face.
I'm sitting back and listening.
I can already see your face. In the regular season, there's not a better pre-snap quarterback than Dak Prescott in the entire league. Watching him conduct traffic and get his team in the right play. Hot route here, hot route there, audible here. There's not a single quarterback in the league that's better at it than him. Not a one that you will see that is better than him. Which is what makes the playoff flameouts even more confusing. Because it's like his brain turns off. Like I'm watching the Packers game and I'm watching him throw the ball directly into a safety's chest. And I'm like, Dak, I know you see him. Like that's the confusing part. It's like, I know you know better. I've seen you make that play. I've seen him get his team in the right play routinely. All that shit he yelling at the line, all that Peyton Manning, here we go, before the thing. He's doing his thing. He really good before the snap. He's fantastic at it. But then in the playoff, his brain just disappears. So I'm not going to argue the first 2 because one of them you actually agree with me. Second one, Jerry Jones. I can see the point. My point still stands that until he gets either out of the way or his foot out of his mouth, they're not going to go anywhere. Okay. With Dak, my issue has never been he's not won a Super Bowl. Because quite frankly, like you said, only so many quarterbacks win a Super Bowl. My issue is you flame out and you have not made it to a conference championship. You in your roster, I'm not going to put it all on him. You know, the last game was 1,000% on him. But there's a line in the sand where I, as a fan, or I, as a GM, have to look at you've not made it past this point. And you brought up Sixers earlier. The Sixers get blamed for not making it out the second round. Everyone knows that. Yes.
So that's like a hate argument. But the Cowboys, they don't get that same energy.
Yes,
matter of fact,
Turn on ESPN right now. They're probably getting that energy. What are you talking about?
But they get more coverage, in my opinion, in a lighter view than the Sixers, who don't get out the second round. The Sixers they don't make a second round. Meanwhile, the Cowboys, what are the Cowboys doing in a better situation? And I think that when you look at Dak's career, his accomplishments are, yes, you won a couple division titles. Congratulations. You beat the Eagles. You beat the Giants. You beat the Commanders and the racist name. Who have they beaten in the playoffs? They've beaten
the Bucks for Tom Brady's last year. I know. Yeah. I know.
But, you see where I'm going here.
Yeah, of course.
There's a line in the sand of you've beaten XYZ, but you've also failed at ABC, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. So there's that line of. Matter of fact, I'll put it this way: you put it down on a yellow legal pad. Which line is more? Which side is more? Which side is longer? The I've accomplished XYZ or I failed at doing ABC. And when you look at Dak and going into his second or third contract at this point, I think that you have to have a tough question of, is he the guy moving forward? I think that he deserves to be paid if Dallas is not going to go out and, get a established quarterback. If you want to get a quarterback in the draft, I mean, go for it. But I don't think that Dak has had the resume for me to want to pay him this time. Last time, sure, give him all the money in the world. He deserved his last contract. This contract, I don't think he's earned. But that's coming from that's me with a little bit of my bias, but the more side of my reality of you have failed and crashed and burned horribly multiple years in a row when we needed you the most. Stop being the avatar.
So you gave me a perfect segue when you brought up contracts, but I'm gonna fuck it up completely to ask you this question. The Cowboys don't re-sign Dak Prescott. They can't trade him. He has a no-trade clause, and they can't franchise tag him either because of the way his contract is set up. They don't re-sign Dak Prescott after the season. What's step 2?
Go shopping in the draft to solidify.
For who? Sign who? Trade for who? If the goal's to improve, who are you getting that is better than Dak Prescott?
You can't trade him, so then that's the issue. Then again, he's going to want him because at that point he'd be a. I don't feel, this is me, my GM brain would not want. Yes, I understand that there's not much better out there, but I don't want to. I'm not going to pay you a max deal that you think you deserve if you haven't put out max stats, max effort. To me, that's dead money in my eyes. Unless I give you a 2-year contract, a 1-year contract. But is he going to go for that? No, he's not going to go for that. He's going to want the stability. He's going to want the big money. And that's just me sounding like an ESPN person who thinks that they know what this person wants. I don't really know what Dak wants. But
it's safe to assume he wants the most money possible in his next contract. I think that's a fair assumption to make.
But see, I can't commit to a long-term contract with a quarterback that has not proven to me he can win when he needs to. That meltdown in the last game was atrocious.
Very bad.
And you want me to give you a max contract after that? You gotta earn that.
So what's funny when you say earn that, right? So the Cowboys would have actually saved themselves a lot of money this year for free agency if they would have extended him, because they would have been able to move his cap hit for this season later on, so they will be able to free up a lot of cap space. And the fact that they looked at that Packers game and it was so bad, they said, nah, fuck that. We will hamstring ourselves in free agency because we will not reward that performance. That's pretty much what happened. All right, so here's the other part of what's step 2 that complicates things. Dak Prescott's not the only deal that needs to get done. Your other 2 best players, Micah Parsons and CD Lamb, also want new deals, and they are also make me the highest paid player in the history of my position level players. The CD Lamb thing, I think, is inexcusable. How many receivers have re-signed this offseason? At least 5, closer to 10 have re-signed. Justin Jefferson just signed for 4 years, $140 million.
The bag.
The bag. The Cowboys have cost themselves conservatively $20 million by not signing CeeDee Lamb the moment they walked off the field losing to the Packers. Because the price only goes up. I don't know why teams do this, where you have your top talent, you know you want to re-sign him, but you want to haggle for nickels and dimes, and as you're haggling, the price goes up.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
You're not getting a bargain on CeeDee Lamb. That's not happening. You're not getting a bargain on Micah Parsons.
Bro, the crazy part to me is Micah Parsons is top 5 player in the league in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and I say that as far as everything he's been able to do, and I think he's not done developing.
No,
I think if you put him in a perfect system, this man is going to be. He has. I'm going to make this clear. He has potential to be as good as Aaron Donald. Has potential. I didn't say he's going to be. I said it's there.
All this talk about Micah Parsons, he's only been in the league 3 years. This is year 4.
He should have been an Eagle. It pisses me off. Oh my god.
Let it go. Y'all got Devontae Smith. Let it go. That's a pretty damn good consolation prize.
The only reason why I'm not throwing this pen in my hand. But I think that whatever Micah wants, give it to him. I don't care. If he wants the earth, if he wants the solar system, you give it to him. That man is a dog. That man is your best player, and that man's tired of going on TV every time the Eagles make a move and being upset that the Eagles are getting better and they're not. It's beyond belief that they have not taken care of this man. And then your number 2 in CeeDee Lamb should have been, like you said, this matter of fact, he should have been awarded a contract when he walked into the stadium for the last game. There's so many issues with the Cowboys.
It doesn't make sense.
And all of those chickens come home to roost is why I can't have them in the playoffs. I purposely cannot fathom them getting in the playoffs. But if they get there, I'll come on here and I'll walk it back. Until then, I'm not going with it. I just can't.
I'll get to that playoff point in one second. That's what makes the Dak Prescott and what step 2 so interesting to me. Because they have a win now roster at every position. So let's say they do draft a rookie. Let's say they get Shadur Sanders in the draft because they're not going to be number 1 pick bad. They're not. There can be first round quarterback bad. They're not going to be first overall pick bad. We can be honest about that. They're too talented for that. How long is it going to take Shadur Sanders to be as good or better than Dak Prescott? 3 years?
Wait.
4?
Before you get to the Shadur Sanders spot, do you think he's better than Trey Lance? Off rip.
Ooh, okay, so that's where it gets interesting, because when they traded for Trey Lance, there were people who were saying they traded for him in case things go south with Dak Prescott's contract negotiations. He's their plan B. Trey Lance hasn't even started half a season of NFL games yet, and he hasn't even played a full season of games in college. You see what I'm saying? So I don't put a bunch of stock in the Niners gave up on him thing. Brock Purdy's a baller. That's why they traded him. And they didn't want to deal with the conversation every single week. Don't make that face. Brock Purdy's really good at football. So
he's good at the system he's in. He's good at the system he's in.
If it was the system he's in, Trey Lance will still be in a Niners uniform.
I don't think it worked well for Trey. But you know what? We're not going to get into that. We're not talking about
Yeah, that's not what we're talking about right now. So that's what I'm saying with the Dak thing. It's okay. You can't start back from day one because at some point they're going to re-sign Micah and CeeDee Lamb. There's no way they let them both walk out the door. Maybe they sign one, franchise tag the other. They will be on this roster for the 2025-2026 season. Dak is up in the air, but those two will be Cowboys. They will be Cowboys. So you have that. You signed Trayvon Diggs not too long ago. The rest of your defense is aging at this point. The offensive line is what it is. You have all pros at important positions. You can't go get a rookie. You don't have time for Trey Lance to become a better player and develop as a quarterback. You need to win now. You need to win now. And there is no better option than Dak Prescott to do that.
So to your point of this win now mentality, how long do you hold on to this win now mentality without winning?
The end of CeeDee Lamb's and Micah Parsons extensions.
Okay, so 2 years. Okay. And then what?
No, their new contracts they're about to sign. So 4 or 5 years.
Wait, you're saying they're about to sign as if that? Okay, yeah. I get what you're saying. I think that the win now thing, but I think that there comes a time when those contracts end, they blow it up. Because what else can you do with a team that's underperformed? They've been so great on paper for so many years that there's not been enough evidence around that paper to support me keeping this team intact after those contracts blow up or after this contract end. You need to blow it up. I said that before. I've put stock in it before. I can't do it anymore. Can't do it. Won't do it.
All right, so we do have to move on, but 2 points one with the Cowboys, one with the Commanders that I forgot to bring up. Number one, they brought in Mike Zimmer, and the same thing I said about Dan Quinn, Mike Zimmer did as well. He brought over a linebacker that knew his system. They brought over Eric Kendricks, who is not nearly the player he was when he was on the Vikings, as you as the Eagles fan know. But he's there to tell Micah Parsons and them, okay, this is what this call means. This is how you play this gap on this play. That's why he's there. He's there essentially to be the linebacker coach. That's why he's on the team. So, and I think Mike Zimmer is a sicko who draws up the craziest blitzes and 7-man fronts and drop this coverage and this, that, and the third. So I think that defense is going to be really fun this year. And I think that's a great coaching hire for getting rid of, Dan Quinn moving on to another position. The other point I forgot to bring up before we close this out. Brandon Ayuk requested a trade, and Washington is like the number one destination that everyone's connecting him to because of his relationship with Jaden Daniels. The possibility of a Brandon Ayuk, Terry McLaurin receiver combo, does that move the needle for you at all for the Commanders?
In a year, I'm not going to. If that was this year, I wouldn't say so because we talked about how questionable their offensive line is.
Yes.
And we all know that in order for the quarterback to get the ball to a receiver, you need to be able to, I don't know,
not die in the process.
Yeah. So I think that on paper and in theory, with behind a remotely decent line, I think that does move the needle. But because I don't have much faith in that offensive line, I can't sit here and say that moves the needle much. Unless you're gonna have a bunch of quick games with them, I don't see that. I don't really see that being a deciding factor this season. I would love to revisit that next season though. Okay. As far as this season, yeah, I'm chalking.
Fair point. And to that playoff point, and this is kind of my headline too, the Cowboys and the Eagles both had off seasons that if they weren't in the same division, I'd be looking at them and saying, there's no way they make the playoffs. Too much chaos.
Yeah.
I don't care how talented that team is. Too much chaos. This is not equal playoff team. But the other two teams in their division damn sure ain't making the playoffs, and somebody has to win. So that's why I'm saying there's no way that there's a wild card team from this conference. I think the NFC is too deep for that. The top end of the AFC, the top end of the NFC may not be as high as the AFC, but as far as depth, there's 3 possible playoff teams in the NFC North alone. Mm-hmm. There's 3 possible playoff teams in the NFC West. Like, teams are deep this year in the NFC. So I'll ask you before we close it out, the headline for the Dallas Cowboys season February 2025 is what?
No. Just call Homer Simpson.
All right. Last question before we close it out.
Good name.
Predict the division order.
Eagles.
All 4 teams, please, Dave.
Oh, you mean predict the order?
Yes, first to fourth.
Ooh. Well, first the Eagles. Then we're gonna go. I'm gonna go a shocking. Like, my heart is saying go with the Cowboys because that's kind of where they've been, but I think that Dayball will get them. Like I said, they're going to be a questionable wildcard team. I got to go the Giants at number 2. I got to go the Commanders right behind them at 3, and then I'm going to have Washington at a solidified 4.
All right. So I got a little different order than you. I have the Cowboys win their division. I just think they're more talented than y'all. Eagles are second. Washington at 3. The New York Giants at the bottom. I'm really down on the Giants team, bro. I really am. I really am. But with that said, as I have managed to piss my brother off to end the podcast.
Wait, no. Hold on. Before you didn't piss me off just yet. When you say that the Cowboys are winning the division, but you said the Eagles are 2, are you had the Eagles at a wild card?
No.
Okay, yeah, now you don't piss me off.
Thank you for coming on the podcast, Dave. This has been another episode of the Cat VK Beloved Show. We will talk to y'all again next week.